Go.
Greetings, folks, and welcome to the April Town Hall. This time, we don't really have a lot to talk about. If you folks are looking at the journal currently, what we currently have to discuss is anything not mentioned and project and announcements. That's it. So, in the revenue of doing that, if we have not mentioned anything, if we have not brought anything up, now would be a good time. We haven't got anything like that in the comments, so it'd be a good time. But I actually do have something that I'd like to bring up real quick, so you folks can give yourself some time to think. And it's basically in regards to some of our journal entries in the Walfus Station Wagon page. Now, if you open a new tab and go to the Walfus Station Wagon page, you will notice that when you go into our galleries, we have a number of our folders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of our folders here aren't exactly labeled to be up to the modern par. What I mean by this is that we kind of just updated the names at one point and we just kind of left it like that with only a few updates to the descriptions of the folder. Now, there has been a bit of submission confusion over where some stuff goes. For example, if you folks know the Toho art folder and the original and non-Toho art folder, you would think that to be pretty distinct, but there was an instance of somebody creating crossover art with Toho, technically non-Toho art, and crossing over with Toho. Now, this is not written properly in the actual folder description to make this distinction, but if it has Toho in it, crossing over with another franchise, even if it's not directly or inherently Toho based, it still will go in the Toho folder because it has something Toho related in it. That is our policy on that, and we don't even have a description in our Toho folder that makes light of that. So one of the things I wanted to ask you folks is, do you folks think it would be necessary to update all of our Walfus Station Wagon folders with descriptions?
Yes.
Oh, of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
Probably.
Okay.
Because
I
there's a
would
lot of
say-
confusion. It's stupid.
I would
So
say
it's
that
definitely-
would be.
As long as everyone doesn't have to reorganize everything they've posted, but that would be nightmares.
No, we
No,
don't
no,
have
no.
to do that.
It won't be, because we've managed to organize things pretty all right just through the submission processes alone, because we do get the fundamentals of where things go as admins, but some newer members may not, and that's probably the biggest key thing. A lot of what I do when I am addressing a new member through the feedback messages is I will directly link the folder. And if it doesn't have a description, it doesn't really tell them that much aside from the fact that I have to explain it to them directly of how it works. So yeah, that's one thing we'll have to do. But there is one issue with that. A couple of our folders are locked from contributors at the moment. The reason for that is because there is only some things and settings that a founder can change. So right now we are unable to change a couple of folders. The only thing that we can have people do is submit directly to them. For example, we can't even change the name of our crafts folder, repurpose it, or take it away because it's been locked by Spazteak unbeknowingly right now. So one thing we're going to have to do is get them to unlock some of those folders for us before we can even add a description.
Let me go text him real quick.
Oh dear.
Let me.
Oh no.
In the meantime, I'm going to find out what folders are locked outside of the crafts folders. I remember there was at least a few.
Wasn't
Let's see here.
introductions also a locked folder?
Yes, introductions was as well. It might not be the only one, so hold off on that text then, HCF. But that's basically what I wanted to ask. I kind of got my answer at this point, that we needed to update the descriptions of the folders to match
Oh,
up.
and then there's also some folders that you just can't upload things to anymore because, like, we
Oh,
got
yeah.
comics archives and stuff that because they've already hit the gallery limit, and the only way to get past those gallery limits is if someone donated it to us, give us some money so we can actually get ourselves the Waffle Station Wagon Premium group.
Oh, premium.
It's
I mean, like,
technically
what?
called
Should we start a
Supergroup.
Patreon or what?
What are our stretch goals
It,
while
it,
we're
it
at it? Why
depends on
not?
it depends on if it's really necessary or not. Because I mean,
It's-
we've managed to overcome it by having new folders and just having that as a sort of archive, and also separating them so that each one gets less, but it's more specific.
It's just like it'll work.
Yeah. And considering the fact that the archives are actually a good way to break up Wolfus history in a way, because you can go back and look at some of these archive folders and see how the standards were definitely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
And-
that idea.
That's good.
Yeah.
However, saying that this whole supergroup thing allows you to have folders, then subfolders, which may
Are
benefit
nice.
us.
It's,
Yeah, it is nice.
It's an okay.
Yeah,
it's
well, I
an
would
alright
agree.
feature, but not necessary.
Isn't it also something that's like a subscription that you have to consistently pay for?
I
How
was
much
gonna say-
would it?
Just a question: if we do get supergroup and then it expires, will we still be able to keep the whole subfolder thing?
I don't know.
It probably won't, because I actually have a core membership right now because I participated in DeviantArt activity, and once the core membership goes away, once it runs out, a lot of the widgets and stuff that you get go away too.
Oh,
And from what I can tell with the old Wolfus Club too, once the supergroup deadline hit its mark, a lot of the stuff that was there that made it part of the supergroup went away, and that could potentially be damaging. But I also don't know if it's like a permanent upgrade or not, because how they got their supergroup to deactivate was basically they were trying to shut the group down.
Wait, who was trying to shut the group down?
What?
Wolfus Club 2.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
let's see. Sethi wanted to just close it all down, but it couldn't because Arrow needed the actual founder needed to somehow remove the supergroup status. Then it could be deleted.
Yeah, and
That's
that ran
the
on a
short
timer. DA gave it maybe like a full week before they could actually have the option to deactivate. But what you folks remember as Wolfus Club 2 perhaps is now the Wolfus Academy, which is actually severely underrated and underused at the moment.
Yeah.
It's definitely underused. I've noticed nothing from it really.
it's basically dead.
Yeah,
It should be
that's
alive though.
also wanted to bring up, but I didn't want to bring it up without Seth here directly, because I felt it would probably be something for Seth, Mickey, or one of the other staff of the Wolfus Academy to be here to listen to. But one of the things that I did want to suggest is the prospect of directing some of our new members, our clearly new introductory members, to the Wolfus Academy. Like, we go to their page and submit their deviation to the Wolfus Academy and wait for their own approval to let it in there. Because a lot of new members join our group, but they completely ignore our affiliates.
Just because it's a more popular one, I guess.
Yep. It's what
Some
you will
people
see
don't.
when you search up Wolfus. It's the second result aside from the Wolfus main site itself, so it's bound to get a lot more exposure.
Alright, Kirai has a question.
Alright, let's see the chat. Go ahead. We're open to hearing it. Yeah, someone says in the chat, I've never heard of the Wolfus Academy. That just goes to show how underrated it is.
Even though it's literally on our affiliate page.
Yeah, front page of the Waffle Station Wagon. I have the Waffle Station Wagon front page bookmarked myself whenever I access DA.
Alright, she asks, when a new officer joins the group, should they be required to make an introduction comic?
It is optional. It is entirely optional. Some people don't make introduction comics until like much later.
And mine's
It
6
is
minutes late. Or more,
Yeah.
actually.
So it is an optional thing. Some people will oftentimes just not mention altogether and kind of just introduce themselves through another means. It's entirely possible.
I just showed up in here.
It's entirely
people,
optional.
Could you perhaps consider as like a recommendation, just to kind of gauge, you know, what they're good at, what they're not so good at, and then use that as sort of basis.
Yeah, our introduction folder in particular is one that is less lenient on the standards here because it gives us the chance to suggest improvements to the people who made the introduction comic in the first place directly so they can do better next time. But it also gives them a chance to familiarize themselves with the process of comic making. And if you folks have noticed, in our front page of the Waffle Station Wagon, the group info got updated. And this was actually left untouched for years. You'll notice if you go to the front page, not only is the submission guide put to the top, but the Create.Swift user manual and RSG's start guide and essentials have been added to the front as well. Originally, it was just the submission guide, Shingo and Green Jake's guide for starters, Vatchel's Create.Swift guide to beginners, difficulty submission guide, and OC/creator DNA. By the way, that DNA list is severely out of date.
Yeah. Wait, what's severely out of date?
The creator/OC DNA link on our group info HCF.
Oh man.
Didn't get enough to contain me though.
But yeah.
I think another thing with that is the fact that a lot of people nowadays use a lot of customs, so kind of it's become a bit obsolete in that sense.
Well, it is also.
We would actually need to modify it to actually include links to these things, not just the DNA. Like,
That
got
would
the
be
base DNA
possible.
and
That
the
would be
custom.
much better. Because customs are a thing, so why not just link to the page where they are?
Yeah, and
that's
what I was
it.
about to say is that usually these things have like a base DNA and like the custom you throw onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I?
Might just be a funny hat.
Bleach.
I was gonna add, like, there's also the thing that a lot of the DNAs there pretty much are of pretty much people that no longer come around anymore, just disappeared or outright left the wagon. Like, I'm gonna leave, like, Green Jake doesn't come here anymore. He's pretty much gone.
His starter guide with Shingo is still pretty alright, but Green Jake, he was originally part of our admin staff, but due to real-life circumstances, he was unable to perform his admin duties here in the Waffle Station Wagon, if you folks remember far back. Some folks haven't heard of it yet, so that's why I'm restating it here.
Who are we talking about this time?
Green Jake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about him.
All I know is his adminship got removed because he didn't do anything.
Well, he couldn't do anything. His real-life circumstances didn't really permit for it, but yeah, there was a level of, I guess you could say, negligence to come back to that.
Well, there's also, from what I heard, is that Green Jake just constantly plays TF2 now.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Team meme.
So really, he's just negligence of us. So, you're gone.
Talk about being a total slacker.
Oh well.
Well, that aside, also what you'll notice in the group info is that we also changed the note to say, please ask for a Discord instant invite in the comments below, and one of the admins will send. If you folks remember, before there was an instant invite in that note, and also in our About Us. Now, apparently...
Wait, I actually have something to interject. I actually noticed something. Sometimes I let my alt account in here just to troll around in the chat, and the link that I had set up still worked. Even though like it might have expired for some people, it still worked. Even to like yesterday. Now,
It
of course, I
still
revoked
shows
it and
up. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it's still like the little invite link that I used. It still worked and didn't expire. So it's not really the links expire at like 2 months or something. There's just something weird going on.
Discord, from what I can tell, from what I've been looking around, they just naturally expire after a certain point in time. It doesn't matter if you set it to be infinite or not.
But
There
Diz,
is
I'm
still
telling you that
interjects.
I'm telling you that they don't actually expire, but it just the weird thing is that the links sometimes do.
Yeah, the links themselves in an outside source, yeah, they will falter and act as though they are expired. When in reality they'll show up here in our admin list as still being there. So it's something wrong with Discord. We can't really set up something permanent, so at this point we just have people ask. So that's our stance with that.
Do you think it's going to be like that forever? Because I don't want it to be like that forever.
I'm sure
Because it's a
Discord will
lot of
implement
work,
it.
really.
It's still a beta.
Yeah.
Good Josh.
But I got a question to ask everyone else here. Do you think that we should have it on invite only, like where you have to ask us to get into our exclusive club, or no?
It definitely feels like it does call back to raid call in the sense that
Wait, what?
in the sense that they needed to get in touch with one of us first to be let in. That way there was a level of us being able to tell if they were serious or not. Because there is
the idea of filtering out bad people.
Yes.
Wait, who we're talking about?
We're talking about letting people in through invites only. Like through
Okay.
exposure to the DA group only.
Okay. Sorry, I just kind of tuned out and doing other things.
Originally with raid call we
aren't they not allowed in? Don't they have to be in the DA group to even come in here?
Yes, and originally in the raid call, one of the requirements we put in our group info is that people link their deviant art if they had one. They didn't necessarily have to be a part of the group. They just needed to have a DA so that we could trace their actions back to them on deviant art. And a lot of stray people came in the Discord who completely ignored that.
Yeah. But what I was about to say is that after this is over, we need to announce that it's going to be invite only from now on.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure some people are aware that you can link DA to your Discord account via RoboNitori, though.
They're not until later on.
We're not necessarily talking about RoboNitori. We're saying, hey, if you want to join us, tell us your DA account.
Okay.
If you want to be a part of the Walfus station wagon, at least have a DA so you can be affiliated with us on the Walfus side of things on the DeviantArt. That's our mindset.
Okay.
Right, so that's really all I had to say there. If anyone else has anything they'd like to suggest that we missed, it's still open.
Just a second.
Well, I'm just waiting to see if someone else does before I say mine. Sky, I know you're messaging me, please, not right now, because I'm streaming, dude.
Oh,
you know, if I look at your,
I'm sorry.
messages,
I'm
they
sorry.
will see it.
Sorry. Fuck, I didn't know you were streaming.
Alright, since we've gone over the rules and descriptions of the whole DeviantArt side of things, what about the rules and descriptions of the Discord side of things?
For the descriptions we have on here, we probably don't need that much since they only offer limited space for that anyway. But yeah, in terms of that, in terms of getting the descriptions out of the way, I'd like to focus on the DA first. And if there is a really big need for it, we'll upgrade the Discord little subtext there that's under our chat rooms and stuff, under our rooms. But for now, it's not a major focus. Since a lot of the rooms in here are pretty self-explanatory, I'd like to think.
Let's see. I think I might have some interjections with that one. They look self-explanatory. Darn. Oh wait, RP 101. I need to say something. Why hasn't that thing been used at all? It has not been used over the past 2 months.
It was something that Roy originally put there as a means to teach people how to RP if they did not know the fundamentals.
It's like no one ever uses it. Does it have to be there?
It probably doesn't, if only due to the fact that Roy was the only one running it, and yeah.
Kit was there.
Kit does it as well.
Kit was running it. I did not know that. Has
Well,
he? I think he's running his own little jig at the Weavers
server.
Yeah,
So,
the one server.
The one.
I'm gonna ask everyone here to vote on it. Should we keep the RP 101 group, or should we just get rid of it?
I see no reason for it anymore.
Text is probably going to be the most beneficial here. You can explain your reasons after you say something into text.
Okay, just put it into text.
What's the harm in keeping it?
Nothing. It's just
It clogs up the thing.
There's no harm, but like there's some people but I remember some people saying that like there's like too many chats that don't go used. Yet there have been some chats that were used, like Wolf's Props, Wolf's Creations, and like even Nurai here said like, yeah, I like that it's there.
I like that that's there too.
And I mean they're completely relevant because we're a Wolf's group.
Wait, WAN?
WAN.
Or whatever.
Group kit setup.
Yeah, that is the another one of our affiliates on our front page. It's the affiliate with the Momiji picture on it. It's our dedicated branch for RPing.
Yeah, but
I'm in that Discord, but not in it on DA. I should fix that.
Roleplay in general.
So my vote's basically gone to having it not be here.
Yeah, we made
June says no as well.
Yeah, it just takes up too much space. It's not active, and most people just jump into improv anyways, even if they don't know what they're doing. Because the best way to learn is experience, after all.
Yes. More reasons to come in then.
In the meantime, just another thing is regarding like the purpose of some of the chats. I think there is a lot of like some overlap in some of them.
Are you talking about like the quantity of them being high?
No, I'm talking about you know, at what point do you move like stuff to Memeland or something if you're in U-Haul? I know the rule is generally a couple of images, provided it's relevant, but then deleted afterward.
Carson,
do you think there maybe should be some sort of dedicated chat? I mean, exclusively to image spam that's only relevant to the U-Haul.
Only relevant to the U-Haul. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is a good question because sometimes I do say take it to the mainland even though it might be relevant, and some people have complained, well, why should I remove it if it is technically relevant to the conversation? I can understand that. It's for some reason I have a bit of a bias where I'm like I see like this random image macro and I have like a detest for it, so I'm slightly biased in that regard. Sorry about that, guys.
It's alright.
It's alright.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I think sort of putting a definite cutoff point for when you should go to mainland.
Okay, so I think a cutoff point would be like 2 image macros in like one go. If you have like an image macro and then another image macro that's relevant to what was said, then do it. But like if you're posting image macro after image macro after image macro, take it to the mainland already.
Or one of the
We
other
don't
rooms.
want your
if it's relevant to the gaming, take it to the gaming room, etc., etc.
I'm gonna be right back real fast, folks. Sorry.
All right. Carson, as
Yeah,
I was about to say, we weren't saying remove those roleplay rooms as well, just RP 101.
Also, I'm sure Tune would agree with me on this one. Bring back True Derp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I misheard.
Wait, what?
That's
we
fine.
need derp. Hashtag bring back derp RP. As much
Bring
as
back True Derp.
Yes, bring back derp RP.
But the
Sometimes
improv room is the derp.
No, it's not.
It has cohesive plots.
It now has several subplots going
it's
on.
gone to the point where we've actually sort of established a sort of a consistency, a continuity, and I think second improv kind of ties into that, but having a true derp RP would be great.
Yes.
What party?
True derp RP. Like the good old days.
Can you spell that out for me in the chat? I don't know what you're saying. It's like coming out weird for me.
True derp RP. True derp.
Oh, like True Capitalist Radio.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that.
You son of a bitch! I never said that. You sorry ass.
All right.
Like as Doc said, the original RP room, because improv is basically now turned into, as he said, cohesive plots, subplots, that sort of stuff, and we'd rather have stuff we could just fool around in, you know.
Okay, let's name it True Derp Radio.
True derp radio.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
go for
Captain
it.
Face.
Okay.
True derp radio. Yes.
Okay.
Radio
That's
cues,
really
guys, let me just type this.
I'm back.
I gotta say, that's really close to Jet
If
Set
you want to
Radio.
keep it to the radio theme, True Derp RD.
Unknown. Understand the concept of love.
There, it's added. It's like below second improv room.
Thanks,
Okay, there you
HDF.
go.
Yay.
Should we move the mainland Out of curiosity, should we be moving the mainland farther up? Because,
Oh yeah.
because mainland seems like one of the ones that is used more often than the other ones, even if Waffles Creations and that sort of stuff is useful and all. But
might just be me, but I kind of don't personally see why. But though also begs the question, I don't see why. But I don't know. I can't argue.
Maybe if it were moved up, more people would see it and use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Because I
Those are my 3 rules for you guys.
Scrolling.
Crawl. My memes.
Anyways, are we still in a discussion, or
yeah? Because
are we just
the reason why I'm suggesting this is partially because of wave sign, and partially because I also kind of try to look at the beamland relatively frequently. So that's why I'm trying to push it to move up a bit, especially since it's one of the more used rooms as well, even though it's slightly on the bottom. But yeah, that's just probably me thinking about that. Especially if we do, in fact, need the image spam room, because it's just all the way down there, and yeah, if it's more active, I don't see why it isn't at the bottom.
But yeah, Carson, we as deputy admins can actually move those text channels around.
Yeah, I'd put like meme land above gaming, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd probably put meme land. Well, I don't. It could
Meme land
either
above
go
gaming.
because the gaming rooms are also semi-actively used. I'd probably put them in between.
There you go.
Well, you could put them there. Either that, or you could put them in gaming in the RP rooms. Either or is fine.
No, I'd put it between mini room 2 and gaming 1.
Network is either or is fine with me.
Yeah, this
that's
works.
good. That's good.
Just so long
Easy
as
access to all my frequents. Good.
It means considering I've muted mini rooms 1 and 2, unless necessary, U-Haul and Mainland are right next to each other.
I would second the proposal to put them above the gaming rooms. Also, it seems like it'd be categorized while putting general conversation rooms all together. Okay, that's an idea. So is the second
Pretty much
improv
what we're doing
room
right now,
needed
so-
if there's interest in
Right, I'm back.
Actually,
This
second
time
improv
for-
room I think is still needed. The reason being is because sometimes it's basically the reason why the second improv room was created in the first place, and that reason is still valid. Stuff goes on in the improv room, and sometimes people want to do other things that are somewhat subplot related and other things. But you can't exactly do that if the first improv room is occupied. So the second improv room should probably stay because, well, it is also used frequently because of that very reason.
It's because like when some people use one chat to take out the whole chat and they don't want to get interrupted, so they have to go to a different chat. So
This
that
is
was
especially true with RP.
Yes, very much so.
For now, 2 is enough, and then a true derp one for just fucking around. But
That's for
it goes like it goes like this though. After that whole thing though, we don't really need any more improv rooms. I think we're done.
We
For
should be
now,
done with the
until we
RP
get like
rooms.
600 members in the Discord group.
I'd like to propose that if any more RP rooms are needed, that the RPers, create their own Discord server, take it all over there.
Yeah. Or just use
Several
one.
people have created their own RP groups.
They already have.
Considering Oz 404 doesn't really have a purpose anymore, I might actually open that up to more people in case it does get a bit overpopulated.
Yeah, why not?
What?
Myself, 404, and 2 others have a RP group, which isn't being used.
That hasn't been used since February 2016.
You should invite them.
There's also
But
the
that's besides the
RP
point.
rooms made by Minori.
The RP room catalogs, yeah.
I'm there. Use that sometimes.
The RP room catalogs that Meadery made?
Yeah, you'd have to ask for that directly. For one, you could probably go to our affiliates and just click there and ask to get in. They have this whole initiation thing where they pretty much, after you introduce yourself, your cause, and all of that, they will put you in a relevant place that'll suit what you're trying to do in terms of RP.
They'll pull down your trousers and paddle you, but that's no.
Plus,
I am
Roy
not
isn't
even going to
able-
comment.
Plus, Roy isn't even able to administrate. What the?
What room did I just delete?
Town hall.
Town
it seems.
hall.
He deleted Town Hall.
God dang
You
it!
deleted Town Hall!
Okay. Do not panic. Do
He'll
not
bring it back.
chatter, do not spam.
I'm so
There we
sorry.
go.
I accidentally clicked the wrong button.
Okay. Things happen. Let's not yell and scream about it. Someone just create a new town hall room.
It's already
and we'll
done.
move on.
It's already done. Yeah,
It's funny. It's okay.
It was
just funny.
He was going for the RP 101 room. That's what
And
he
they're
was
right
trying
next
to
to
get.
each other.
Like
It's okay,
basically,
man.
they were put right next to each other, and I was like, "Oh, I'm deleting RP room 101." Click, delete. Oh, that was a town hall.
Okay.
Well, at least
please stop spamming the new town hall chat, please.
Well, at least it saves us the trouble of having to clean that room up.
I've wondered why my Discord tab popped back up.
Have we gotten it out of our systems?
Yes, it seems like it.
Yes, we're good.
All right. So, anything else that we need to discuss that hasn't been mentioned? So far, we have gotten the prospect of adding proper descriptions to the gallery folders on the DA, and also adding the True Derp RP room.
True Derp Radio.
Yes.
That would be the
Drac
True Derp RD
has-
room.
Drac has something. Well, since I've been meaning to ask about folders, it occurs to me that there are a few things on DA that aren't adequately covered by the WSW current folder structure, helpful Walfus apps is one such thing that might help organize things better.
Helpful Walfus
can you,
apps.
Can you like elaborate or rephrase that?
I've never heard of it.
If you're talking about like create.swift extended or something like that.
He actually made a program that should be there to help people with lip syncing.
Yeah, I say that because RSG makers made some stuff, and I have some plans to make some stuff. Probably, yeah.
So are we proposing a new
Helpful
folder for like utilities like that?
We have RSG's start guide and essentials on our front page. That is basically a good place to find a lot of the programs and resources that we do use in the Walfus station wagon. It includes everything from GIMP, Paint.net, to AndySnap to Lightshot, you name it. The programs are pretty much all set in stone there, and that's mainly why I had it linked in the group info.
I'll be honest though, I don't actually use any of those computer-aided Walfus apps. I just mostly do things on my own using vanilla Walfus and GIMP.
Well, that is something that is very much different for a lot of other folks. There are a lot of people that I do know that use AndySnap because of the fact that it remembers the dimensions you last saved when you take a screenshot.
There's also another one I would like to say, Greenshot. That one also saves it a bit, but it's a little bit more complicated to use than
AndySnap.
And then there's also Shutter for Linux, but you'd have to be on a Linux computer.
What is Screenshot? Never heard of it.
Greenshot, look it up. It's a free program and stuff. But we'll talk about that later. That's a bit off topic.
An open source screenshot tool. I should also mention.
Let's just say there's many ways that you can Walfus. You shouldn't just rely on just one certain way of doing things. Like there's many ways of doing it.
And if for whatever reason you're like me, who uses a Mac, Command plus Shift plus 4 or Command plus Shift plus 3. Pick one.
Well,
3
technically,
is a full
that takes
screenshot, 4 is a drag, but
Kappa. Anyway, what's the next topic?
The next topic.
Wait.
What?
I didn't even get to say mine.
I'm just going to remind people of what the next topic is, Bleach. You'll get to say yours. The next thing on our list is the projects and announcements, but that's not going to happen until Bleach has to say what he has to say. Go ahead.
Alright, so I don't remember which one of the admins probably like recommended because I think I could be wrong still, but I think we might have recommended like trying some time for like managing like ignoring people's voice by individually muting them at one time. But due to something like that came up recently, like even Stern mentioned, I'm gonna have to say like I'm gonna actually now unrecommend that. As in,
can I clarify what you're saying, Bleach?
From what I've gathered of what he has said so far, he is not recommending the use of ignoring voice. And if,
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Let me explain. Okay, basically, you know how we said to mute people if they're bothering you? Yeah, don't do that because when they're muted, you start talking over them when they're trying to talk and you can't hear them because they're trying to talk, but you muted them, so... What you do is, instead of muting them, you turn the volume down to 10%. Tone them out, but if you still hear like a faint don't talk over them. Got it?
Like I did with HCF here.
Example. Originally, in the raid call, when you hit ignore voice, you would ignore their voice completely. That meant you would talk over them. What I originally suggested, Bleach, HTF, is that if somebody was unanimously, in the eyes of other people, making a fuss and wasn't stopping and there were no admins around, they would all come to the collective decision to ignore their voice then and there. Now, what I was going to originally say is that there is the problem that they would forget to turn their volume back up because you don't get like a little icon they're muted or anything on your screen. You will see their might go off maybe, but you won't hear anything from them, and you could probably confuse yourself. And I can get that, as opposed to something like the dedicated button in the raid call, which was an individual thing that was client side that you saw. Now, the biggest reason I'd go against what they're saying here is for the sake of a group problem in voice. But in general, yeah, if somebody is bothering you and you do mute them for a cause, it's probably not the best course of action, because then you start talking over them, as they mentioned before. So, like, if it's one individual thing between you and another, yeah, it's probably best not to mute them, but to lower their volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they are causing a fuss, like screaming at everybody in the room collectively, calling them names or whatever and whatever you know, everybody can come to the collective decision to ignore that person's voice so that they don't get disturbed on the level of which everyone would have to put up with for a while until somebody came by to deal with it. Thankfully, we have enough people here now that it's not as big of a problem, but that's in the event of an emergency, of what you would do in a situation like that.
In case of emergency, press mute button.
Though, technically, though, if some guy is bothering a bunch of people, and we all unanimously agree that they need to be muted, and there's an admin there, the admin's going to mute them for you.
Yep, they have a server-wide mute button that will disable their voice. Now we don't have a dedicated mute button, but we do have a role, a probation role, if you will, that can prevent them from using text chats
Not a
as well.
probation rule, Diz. It's just a
not
role
really.
that mutes you. What we do is we delete your membership and we throw you into the text mute member, so you're still here, but you can't say anything. I could demonstrate it on someone if you want.
Didn't that happen to CL9?
Yep, it did.
Yep.
So actually, we just image muted him. That was it. But if someone wants to be a volunteer,
I'll volunteer.
Googie already said.
Yeah.
Volunteers as
Okay, so pay attention to his roles real quick. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I deleted his membership role, so now he can't be a member. And then I'm gonna click the role, and then
Hang on, HTF. If you guys look in the sidebar where all the names are, scroll to the very bottom, and you will see Googie's name there as white text.
Oh.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Text mute, and now he's text muted. He can't say Jack. Though, of course, his name looks similar to the way it was. Just grayer. Wait, why is he still able to type?
He's typing, but I don't think he can send it.
No, he sent it.
He's sending it. There we go.
Modify it.
Good feature.
I can't talk. I can still talk.
I think you need to change the permissions.
Yeah, the permissions of the channel need to be changed.
Because technically, though, his text permissions, he send messages has been turned off, but yet he's still able to. So this must be a Discord problem.
Oh no, HTF! It's because you recreated this group, isn't it?
Yeah.
That might be the reason he can still talk here, is because you created a new group and you have to set the
I think the problem is that but the thing is, though, he shouldn't be able to be sending messages. I disabled that ability, so sending messages. Then, in which case, there's something wrong with the group thing.
You have to set that up per channel.
Let me
some of them
see.
have it, some of them don't.
Yeah, to set it up per
But
channel.
yeah, it's there.
I think you need to change. I think you need to change the "ask everyone" thing, and then change each and every other one so that they can send messages, and just have the "ask everyone" so they can't.
Let me look through the settings for you folks here.
I can send the music, but I can't send the writing, but I can also send the technology. It's kind of weird. It's like every other channel almost.
It seems to be the more recent channels then.
Yeah, it's the more recent, so
it's the per channel permissions then.
Yeah.
I could test out some on my own server. Let me just check.
Okay, text mute is unable to do that for mini room.
That is weird.
You should be able to change the at everyone role so they cannot
Permission.
send.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, because the at everyone role. Basically, what happens is that it inherits the roles, or the inherits positions from the everyone group.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, though, it's like
it
it
takes
denies.
So technically, if you disable the everyone group, then again, new members wouldn't be able to talk
It would be a
either.
better idea to disable it on the
HDF.
text mute role rather than disable it on the one role and allow it for the member role.
Folks, one moment.
Yeah.
HGF.
What?
Click the cog next to the town hall chat where it says edit channel and go to permissions. You'll see there is only one role there. You will want to add the text muted role and everything else there and set the settings there. That's what I was talking about before. There are individual room settings you got to contend with, so it's not really Discord's problem, it's just that it's whiny about setting each individual room.
I can't actually see mini room 1 anymore.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say, Googie?
Mini room 1 is missing now.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
because I also disabled the read messages permission.
Oh.
Huh.
Whatever. It doesn't matter now. I don't feel like going back to it.
Science has been done.
Wait, how are you still able to talk? Oh, wait, we still have to add to the voice mute.
Yep.
Ah!
Well, proof of concept at least, I guess.
I
can't send messages to Town Hall anymore.
Yeah, I'm messing around with the settings, and I just disabled that. Yeah, that's the thing. We needed to add the text mute role here. Okay, I get it. I get you, Discord.
This is just like NTFS file permissions, right, Googie?
Yeah, I haven't messed with that much.
There, I disabled it, and now you can type something in the town hall.
Did you put him back to member? Because he better be member. He's like an arbitrary member. I mean honorary member.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, we'll put him back, no worry.
Well, not
Should I
completely
do
back,
that
but he
for
can
him?
text.
I got it, I got it.
Alright, got it.
Never mind.
Oh, never mind.
I beat you to it.
You beat me to it.
Not gonna even say that line.
Alrighty then. So, we'll get that squared away, okay, and now I'm convinced that we do need to do some maintenance here on the Discord in addition to adding descriptions to the DA, so that's going to change.
And yeah, also it is we're misinterpreting pretty much what he said, but still the general idea is don't mute for it's just you individual between individual and not group communication on agreement. Just lower their volume. Like for example, let me use just two people for example. Like let's say Sky, let's say you were being bothered by Yawn, for example, for whatever reason. I'm just using you to as an example. Instead
I'm okay with this. This happens a lot.
Instead of Sky pretty much muting Mion individually, he could just turn it down to 10% so that way he can still hear Mion and know when not to interrupt him. But the voice is just lower than everyone else's, so it won't be as bothering.
Too bad we can't like globally turn down someone's volume.
Yeah.
Wait, can you do that? Oh.
We can't. There's no such feature.
No.
That's what I was saying. I wish there was.
Yeah, the best you could do is just server mute.
Alright.
Oh, and apparently, we don't have permission to type in the Trudeau copy anymore. Just a quick thing.
Wait, what?
I think
I'm messing around with the settings here.
Alright, fair enough.
But yeah, that's that's pretty much it for what I wanted to say.
I hope
Alrighty.
you guys fucking fix that. Fix this.
We will.
I'm just thinking about what to say next because I know there was something I wanted to bring up, but I don't know what to bring up.
HF1.
There's Artist G asked something.
What is it?
I'm wondering, my start guide and essentials are we wanting it to be a collection of all the helpful apps relevant to officing? If so, I may have to reorganize and change it a little bit because currently it's geared just for people who have yet to start making office projects. Whoa,
All right.
No
worries. No worries. It's all good.
I wasn't suggesting getting rid of the current way guidelines are structured. I was suggesting was some additional storage of these apps.
Alrighty. Are we good then? Do we have anything more that we have to suggest in terms of stuff we missed?
I don't think so, really. I don't really feel like it. I thought I had something, but I guess I didn't.
I exhausted everything I had to say.
Give us 5 minutes.
I think at this point, if anybody had anything they had to say, they can probably just mention it for the next town hall or in the comments for the minutes. It'd probably be the best place for it, because honestly, we could probably move on at this point.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No. It's just that we probably don't need to wait. We probably should move on and get this underway. So are you folks all right if we move on to projects and announcements?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, but if anyone doesn't have anything to bring up, then I guess.
I think we were under that impression.
Oh wait, oh yeah, there was something that the admins that we the admins had talked about before. From this point on, when it comes to having to ban someone, we will notify all the members about the decision before it goes through.
That's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
Oh, that's... You're right.
That's why I said give me 5 minutes, because I'm trying to think of what I was supposed to say.
Will it just be notifying everyone, or will you notify people of the circumstances of it as well?
Like,
Provided it's not
basically
sensitive
though,
information.
myself personally am pushing for full disclosure, because the last time an event happened, I was saying, yo, post the full chat logs in a place. But as someone said, no, don't do that. That might make things worse. So they didn't, and that literally caused more confusion than it helped things.
The biggest thing is, if you folks have noticed the recent events, we won't say it here because it's probably not best to say names here in a public recording that anybody can access. But we are basically aiming to enable more transparency when it comes to when we have to take disciplinary action with somebody who is straying from our rules. That is something that we have been considering quite a bit, with a bit of discussion and stuff like that. But the biggest reason we are doing this is because if you folks remember the history we had with Mr. Hart, that has already been disclosed publicly, so there's no problem with bringing it up there. But the biggest thing with the Mr. Hart incident way back when is that it got progressively worse and worse the more we kept it behind closed doors. It just continued to get more progressively bad, to the point where it was going to be permanently damaging no matter what we did. There was going to be a split side either way. Thankfully, it ended up turning out in our favor because we disclosed the full story in a non-biased way. And that's the exact thing we did not do very recently. We did not post chat logs. We did not handle the situation as good as it probably could have been. We did everything we could, but for the person. The person in question could lie, and because of the confusion surrounding it, some people could end up believing it. That's the kind of situation we put ourselves in, and that's why we are trying to enable a little bit more transparency, and that's why Ort brings up the prospect of letting people know about bans beforehand rather than after they happen.
Then there's also this. Well, implementation details. We're going to need to figure out some way of posting chat logs without it interrupting everything else, so that we actually have like a place where people can actually notice them, senpai, and without them being like thrown away in the U-Haul after everyone's randomly saying stuff. But that would probably require like its own dedicated text channel.
I was just about to say that, and that might not be the best idea as a result.
But no. What I mean more is that dedicated text channel to post links to a Google Doc which contains the chat log. So
And
we're basically.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like we're basically like posting links in a dedicated text channel, so that way people can actually review them for themselves. And once it's in the dedicated text channel, people can click the link to the Google Doc, which contains every chat log without anything. So that way they'll be able to see how we did it and if we did things right or wrong or something like that in a non-biased way, stuff like that.
The biggest reason we are doing this is to get more membership input on here, because we do value membership input on situations, and off and on there will be people that can step up and give advice based on what they've observed in the situation. This might require us to be a little bit thorough, because we'd have to keep track of how many people have talked with somebody who has been a miscreant. The biggest thing to do here. Oh, let's see here.
Also, they got
You can
yes,
set
Google Docs can be set to the point where they can't be changed by somebody who is an outsider.
Google Docs.
Yeah, you can basically prevent people from editing a Google document, and that's probably what we would have to do. But as I was saying before, we would much prefer not having to kind of, lay it on the members like we did beforehand, because it was sudden and it was definitely confusing, because there were a lot of people who were asking why. And,
it's like the outward appearances of them were like, oh, I'm a nice guy, and everyone likes them. And then suddenly we ban them, and then it starts looking suspicious on us, and then people start like coming up with all these theories about why we did it or something. We don't want another occasion where people start thinking, well, the admins are like doing things all on their own and stuff.
That's what this sort of transparency is for, then, I guess.
yes,
Conspiracies.
Like I mentioned before, the Mr. Hart incident was probably the worst instance of this, because there was a lot of stuff going behind closed doors. There was a lot of stuff left unsaid, and when it finally was all said and people really got the full story, the full details and everything, it all really just painted the big picture. And I'm going to say this right now, the admin team that was in the Skype admin group did not know the full story until the night of the town hall. It was that bad. We just got the lowdown of what the story was like preemptively before the town hall even began, like maybe the day before, I want to say, if memory serves. And yeah, if a good portion of the admin team itself didn't even know what's going on, then there will be problems. Inevitably, there will be disconnects. So that's what we are going to try to do. We want to give you guys the ability to see what's going on with the group politics. Thank you for bringing that up, Ort. Completely forgot about that.
So who's going to be the new president? No, I'm only kidding.
Clown Piece 2016.
Yes, Clown.
Yeah, let's just say Clown Piece.
Clown Piece.
So, I apologize if it's been brought up already because I had to step out briefly, but, so how would this, I guess, ban control, for lack of a better term, so how would this be, like, implemented?
Well, that's what I just said, is that what I'm thinking of is we have ourselves a dedicated test chat, which has links to Google Docs, which people can review for themselves.
And one thing we can definitely do to our advantage is utilize Discord to that by adding the person in question so that in a role so that they cannot view that link. And furthermore, we could also kick them temporarily from the group if need be, just so they cannot see the chat logs. Because, as you know, that could cause a huge fuss between them. They could cause a huge uproar or something like that.
Are you sure that making it so that they cannot view the doc is a good idea? Because it may not allow them to get some sort of appeal, at least.
What we did want to do is have the members decide for themselves, kind of give them an ideal, but we didn't. But we probably, I'd say, again, it's kind of a work in progress. I'd imagine people would be able to chat in that text room HDF is talking about, but I'm not sure. The Google Docs is kind of a theoretical thing that's in the works because we do have instances where some people would really like confidentiality about this thing, and they would probably get really uppity at the idea of all these members seeing this log, thinking, "Oh, the admins are just out there to show me in an embarrassing state" or something like that. To be honest, the only time we would really get to this point is when we were contemplating an actual ban. Like temporary ban to permanent ban. Otherwise, we would probably not bring it up.
Sorry.
Bans are probably the most serious case, and oftentimes the admins will try to directly approach the person who is making the trouble and try to ease things out. And if they aren't going to cooperate, that's when we let you guys know. Because the reality is, if they are not going to cooperate, listen to the rules, then they would probably be put in a place of a temp ban right then and there.
So I'm not gonna say who, but someone sent me a message about we don't want to have these things dragged out if it's like in a public chat. Like having a community vote on a punishment for someone is an awful idea. Drags things out, makes things worse, then gets people that kind of like them wanted to keep them around or something like that.
Can you repeat that a bit again, HCF?
It's just let me see.
Well, I'm saying that the community probably isn't going to have the decision, but they can weigh in if they would like to.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, this guy here has a point, is that it's not that we don't want you to do, but like we want to be like more transparent. To like if someone did break the rules, we're gonna say, well, we're planning on banning this dude and stuff, and then we're gonna say these are the chat logs. This is what it is. What do you guys think? But
And one of the reasons that is because especially when it comes to like public related issues, like issues that spawned in a public chat, which is where a lot of things do go down. Some people are already aware of it, and even after they get a temporary ban and come back, the people who were there during the public incident will probably be weary of that person because of their actions that got them temp banned. But the reason we are bringing this up is because there are some people who weren't not there during the whole fiasco that went down in public. We're probably going to be a little bit more, we're probably not going to go after people over private affairs unless it's spawned directly in a public place. was instigated in a public place in the U-Haul. Like, say, somebody was calling out another person here publicly, and then they went private and started harassing another. In a hypothetical sense, that would be unacceptable in our standards because that was still something relevant to the group, as opposed to something like a quarrel between one member from our group and another person that's from another group, entirely different from Wolfus. That is probably not something we are going to be able to solve. That is my point of view anyway. I would like to at least enable the transparency because I definitely do not want repeats of the Mr. Hart incident. So what do you folks think?
I think the transparency would be nice.
I think we should maybe sort of bring this up maybe next month or something. Well, and then in the meantime, to sort of get a couple of ideas and actually properly set up a system. Because this isn't a split. This isn't something we can do on a split-second decision.
Yeah, basically.
Exactly. Again, a lot of stuff is kind of in the works here, and we're definitely not keen on taking action on this right now. We definitely need to do a little bit more talking about this.
I'd say that transparency would definitely be a good idea, considering it allows for two sides of a story to be open, because with some people, if they're banned, they only claim their side where they're apparently innocent and we're the bullies. It'd probably be a good idea to have transparency so that it could be up for so the individual can at least see both sides of the story and come to a conclusion on their own.
And the best way to do that is to hear it directly from the horse's mouth, is it not? Through the chat. Probably the biggest thing, the biggest kicker a lot of the times for people is seeing how they behave in the chat logs to the admins or to another member.
Quite agreed.
Don't know who left. Oh, they're back. I think.
Alright, it looks like quite a lot of people are saying they agree with that.
I'll hammer this out as we go.
But
testing. Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
I hear you.
Yeah, my connection keeps. Yeah, my connection's back. Yay!
And then there's another thing I want to bring up.
Sure.
But this isn't to do with the bans. This is to do with Town Hall itself. Basically, the month of March 2016 was a disaster. Because it goes like this. We said we're gonna have a town hall, but then it didn't happen till the end of the month. Then Type Mercury was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it." And he started setting it up for March and stuff, and it was the end of March, so we were gonna plan it for Saturday. But then it's wait, Saturday? We can't do it today. We have to do it tomorrow. Okay, everyone's like, okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Easter. The Easter people like to go to church and stuff, and didn't do family stuff. Suddenly, we can't do it today because it's a holiday. And then we canceled it. We need better planning.
Alright, there is an option. We could have a journal posted at the beginning of every month, and then saying these are the days we could do it, and have every single weekend available. And we do that every single time, and then so you know how we had it at the beginning, 1st of April, posted the April journal saying we could have it either this weekend, next weekend, weekend after, the weekend after that, and do that for May, June, July, August, etc. Rather than just limit, because usually you just limit it to 1 week, and I think that's where the problems arise.
Yeah.
And while a lot of people originally in the March Journal said that they were preferring Sunday, and when asked, some people said Sunday, it was like, oh wait, it is Easter. And Definitely it was because of that, and the sole factor that we really didn't have anything to talk about. Even during this town hall, a lot of it's been relying on stuff that we bring up individually, kind of idea generating. And that's probably been the biggest part of this town hall, and the fact that we did, of course, owe people the monthly projects and announcements. And it's a good thing we did it at the beginning of April, because now we have a good majority of time to plan better for the next town hall.
Yeah.
So the idea that was put in place here by the doctor here, saying that we kind of draft when the next town hall is going to be of the month, kind of have a huge time for people to decide, that's not a bad idea. And we can have a notification out earlier for people to help decide.
I know it's a little extreme, but technically you could post the times available for the May one right after this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
because we're not
that's
going to have another town hall throughout the entirety of April here. Now that we've had our monthly one here, so for all intents and purposes, we just went out without a town hall for the month of March.
Now, to prevent this from happening again, for the month of May, we need to have dates. It's like the Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll vote on a specific day and time in that journal entry, and then we'll come up whenever we have the time day. We'll come up with topics to talk about then. So time first, then topics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is also recommended, folks, that if you don't have it set already, do have the tick on the edit page in the front of the Waffle Station Wagon set to show journal entries and stuff, because you will then get our notification for the Town Hall Journal announcement post that we have, and we encourage almost everybody, if they can, to post their times. Because a lot of the biggest confusion was the fact that we had very little comments asking for specific times and stuff. And we definitely back in the day had a lot more diversity, but a lot of attention to the town hall has been driven away due to the fact that there's not been a lot of community issues to really kind of bring us together to talk about how to fix it. And while that's definitely a good thing, we definitely still need more comments, because all of you people here definitely could have left your time comments. Even if you said you were all right with either day at the default time, that would have been fine. That's all we really need.
Then there's also the fact that if hardly anyone says anything, our default time is Saturday at 5 p.m. Central Time, because reasons. Because
reason
we do put up like a vote. We do like put up a vote, but like our default fallback time is Saturday at 5 p.m. That apparently has been the standard for pretty much most of the town halls. There have been some extensions, but that's been the standard. I've noticed that, including feral alligator here.
Feral alligator.
It even says at the top, time is standard 5 p.m. CST.
Yeah,
But,
Sunday was pushed here because it was the preferred time, and there will be instances where some people can only make it on Sunday over Saturday, and that's kind of why it's good to have a couple of people who are eager or okay for either date, because that gives people the power to decide where they want to join, when they can join, and sync up their schedules. I mean, there have been times where we have had to decide Sunday over people who were asking for Saturday because they couldn't make it. And that mainly comes down to a majority vote. But there has also been a lot of favors in Saturday, usually, because that's a lot of the time when people are free.
And then there's also the fact that on Saturday, you actually have Saturday to Sunday. So, like, for like people on the other side of the world where it already is Sunday, they'll still have time to do it because it's the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is an international group. We have reaches to places like Malaysia, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, it's freaking 20 past midnight over here.
Meanwhile, it's 7 p.m. over here. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a bit past
we have
7
quite a bit of coverage.
I think maybe hosting a couple of quote unquote preliminary town halls just for people who cannot make it to the main one, so they can bring up their issues and just quick little bits, put that into no form, and then someone can bring it up in this hall itself.
Hey, Dr. Nubcake, how many people do get on here at different times compared to the times that we are typically on now? Because I haven't been on long enough to notice the audience behind that. Because I definitely think it's a good idea, but I wonder how many people are going to be able to attend that.
You mean aside from like US times? Well, you've got quite a couple of people in Southeast Asia. You got myself for Leaf and I believe Oku, who are in Europe. So it's midnight over here by the time you guys start. And generally it's on a Sunday, and most of us have stuff to do on the Monday, so we need to be up early. We can't really afford to be on this late. So it's really a case of whoever cannot make it to the main one can generally go to this one. Just sort of voice their concerns and all.
I see. So kind of like their own little segment where they can address stuff. I wonder how we would be able to get that to sync up with the town hall that happens on the day that we do ours.
I think the biggest problem to tackle is the resources required to set this kind of thing up.
Well, what did you have in mind, Dr. Nabagay?
Maybe since it happens on a Sunday, maybe setting one up Saturday about 5-6 p.m. GMT, or maybe earlier if people over in Malaysia want to join in. But having it, say, the day, or even considering what we're doing, maybe even the week before, and then they can voice their concerns. Someone else who can make it to the current one can bring it up, because for the most part, I mean, some of the people who voice their concerns in the comments don't generally get heard as much as they need to.
A lot of the time we do check for that, but I understand that there is a lack of idea generating and discussion piece when you are sticking to just solely comments. And I like your idea of doing it preemptively before our town hall. That way, somebody from there doing the whole discussion piece of it can stay for our town hall and bring it up then what the people from this side of the world are saying. I see what you're trying to go for. We can definitely try to get that set up at some point. I think we probably should at this point. I mean, we haven't really treated the people in the middle part of the world or the eastern part of the world very well with our town halls before. Yeah,
Because
I'm willing to do that. Yep, time zones. They get in the way all the time. All right. I think I'm convinced there. So anything else you'd like to say, Nupcake?
Wait, are we having, what's the idea, 2 town halls per day or something?
No, not
so
day.
Like
like a minor get together from the people of the Middle East and the middle part of the world and the East, so they can discuss ideas of what they'd like to be discussed in the town hall, and they bring like a pamphlet or a note, and they ring it, and they read it out to us here at this town hall. So it's like before ours, HDF.
All right.
Yeah, I'm convinced that definitely would be a beneficial thing.
But yeah, that's all I had to say.
Alright, so we are probably just going to move on at this point. If you folks did have something that you would like to bring up, you can share it in the comments a little bit later or come to us in private if it's something important. So, on to projects and announcements. Got a project you or someone else needs publicity for? Now's the time to bring it up. Be sure to have a description of your thing, a link to it, and your DeviantArt user profile ready so it all can get linked in the minutes proper.
I don't have an announcement, but I have one thing to say about this, though. We've been talking about this, actually, I believe, where it's like, basically, if you're announcing something but you don't have anything done with it, you really shouldn't announce it, because here's the thing, when you announce it and you haven't done anything for it, you'll never get it done.
And the fact that you have to explain it to everybody and you don't have any sort of draft or script thrown together. What we basically expect is you to have some sort of material of it linked and a synopsis that you can briefly read off of what it is. That goes
exactly.
Yeah, that goes for the projects piece of things. When it comes to announcements, it's mainly a little bit more announcements regarding a project that's currently in the works and already existing. So that's a little bit more lenient. What HDF is saying is mainly for projects. You gotta have something if you're going to give us a project. If you have something to announce, go ahead and say "I" in the chat. Right. Siege is up first. So go right ahead, Siege.
Alright, just give me a moment to pull it up. I'll, Alright, so, as you may know, for the last couple of months, we've had the Walfus Variety Show in the works. And we intended to have the first episode out in March. You can probably tell that hasn't happened due to a lack of sketches. And the few sketches I do have already are honestly subpar.
Or at least not substantial enough to make up a full video, right?
Well, what I mean is, a few of the sketches that I do have just aren't good.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I'm pushing the first episode back to once again to April. So the tentative due date is April 26th now. So you have plenty of time to get sketches in. And there's I posted the link to the journal entry once again with some edits to that.
All right.
So, so if you want in on this, make sketches, but also make them good, please. Effort equals results.
Yes. Yeah. If anything, say this, Siege is willing to help you individually if you have an idea, or at least an idea you want to work on. I think Siege is definitely willing to not only animate the sketch for you, but to help you put it together. And this is something that... Go ahead.
Well, we do have a pretty substantial list of people who are willing to help animate, voice act, and even write.
Well, I'm willing to voice act.
So there is definitely a crew behind this. So if you guys have any sort of ideas for a Walfus sketch that you want to be put into the Walfus Variety Show, please do not hesitate to give Siege your idea.
Though while ideas are great, complete sketches are even better.
Oh yes, yes, that is right.
Wait, you meant to something about voice actor, right? Siege.
Oh
yes,
Delta.
You said something.
No. I'll. Can you? Yeah. Can you remind me later? About what you wanted me to do?
Looks like he's saying voices.
Yeah. Yeah. If I said I do voices for you and I didn't, I do apologize. But unfortunately, I do have to take off now.
All right.
See ya.
All right. See ya.
All right.
Thank you for your announcement, Siege. All right. Next up, we have Captain Face. Captain Face, do you have a mic to work with, or do you need to type?
I have a mic. I was just being quiet.
Alrighty, go ahead.
I will go ahead and put this up front. I don't have a journal or anything for this because I don't know the full details, and I'd have to talk to Spastique about it.
Well, then you probably shouldn't go with it. It's basically show, not tell. If you could do that, that would probably be for the better. And honestly, at that point, you could probably link something complete in the minutes.
Yep. Also, or you are taking the links, right?
They're still in the they're still in the chat, so
It might be better to grab them than like you don't have to just like open it, copy the link, put it in a notepad, type who posted it, so that way you know their DeviantArt, and just use the link as like a separate.
that's right. Siege left.
Yeah, this is for our note taker. So, or you're taking notes. If you folks have your announcement, please link not only here but to Siege Ort individually, and then he will get that down for the notes. All right. Next up, we have Bleach Bummer. Yeah. All right.
Give me a sec. It's like I just answering something real quick.
All right.
All right. So now to get on with it. It as you pretty much know, I have been working on this quite a lot this year and a bit last year, but now can happily say that it is nearly done. I pretty much just hit the final phase of just cleaning up and polishing a few things before a demo release this spring. So
you would probably be good to at least stop using it and actually describe what it is.
I'm a RPG game and working on which
yes, folks. For those who don't know, this is Bleach Bummer's project, and this is his Madoka fan game RPG he is making with VX Ace, and he's been announcing this for quite a few times over the past few town halls, and it looks like from what he's said here in his journal, he is finally making headway for a demo release of the game.
Spring this year. It's slated for spring this year. I'm just pretty much cleaning a few things up, but I will still welcome some help. Like if you're willing to voice act, willing to help make a few sound effects or music and such. Because we do have a few of the voice actors. Actually, no, we have only one of the voice actors here so far.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so if you want to still help out, just post in the journal. There's links in there to just help out with like where some of the lines for the voice acting are. Or there's of course the official site, which I will also post here under the game's official title. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it will be released this year. I'm hoping to get it done before the next town hall. No this is there. If I don't, I just won't announce the demo download then, but we'll announce it in a journal separately. But other than that, it's just announcing to like, if you can't, want to help, you can to still support it. It will get done in spring this year, and I'll be pretty much damned upset with myself if I can't pull that through.
All right. Thank you for your announcement, Bleach. Next up, we have Stubborn Virus.
He's definitely stubborn.
He's also a virus.
Get him off of your computer.
Smack.
I don't have a mic. I will be typing, says Stubborn Virus. I will read the lines out for you in that case. I am currently working on a Toho FF, and I was curious if anyone wanted to proofread what I had so far. The story takes place around Toho 11 and will be from the perspective of Rika from Toho 2. Specifically, it will involve her and the spirits released from the underground. I'd like it to be readable before I release it to the wild, so if you're interested, feel free to message me. My DA handle is Jess Adams. Additionally, if anyone wants to read some non-Toho Walfus, my current series is The Museum Heist. The title is pretty self-explanatory, and there's a link to it. By the way, Toho FF stands for Toho Fanfiction. Just wanted to make that clear. Some people might not know.
Sorry, I thought it was Toho Final Fantasy.
Same here.
Oh, so did I.
Welcome to
Same.
Toho Final Fantasy. Get to use Meteor.
Just
Meow.
send your condensed announcement to me via PMs.
Yes, Jess, please send your announcement to Ort as well. Alright, let's see here. Next up we have, let's see, Ultima.
There we go.
Alright, is it okay if I re-announce something?
Sure, if you have something for it, go right ahead.
I mentioned this a couple of months ago, and I'm still have this thing up for in case anyone's interested. I guess I'll post a link in the chat first. Anyone interested in tabletop games? I'm still interested in running my one-shot Slayers D20 campaign. Over the months, I've done a few minor tweaks and modifications with the map and whatnot, so pretty much it is done, unless I find it's pretty much done. The only changes would probably be like minute things if I just find something of interest. But yes, this is done. If anyone's interested, I suppose you could send me a PM or some sort of message on DeviantArt maybe.
Please do type up a synopsis for Ort there of your announcement there, so that he knows what to do. And
PM it to him.
Yes.
Yeah, PM the link and the synopsis of what you want people to do. So you want people to get in contact with you via notes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell Ort that, and then you shall be good.
All right. Also, also a little pretty much I have 4 pre-made characters. If anyone wants to run a 5-person game, I could probably work towards throwing in an extra character if anyone's interested.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right. Next announcement is my announcement. And it's really just an announcement for the community to be aware of the contest results. So as you folks may know, the PC98 contest recently had, well, not recently, a while ago, had its voting closed up with the results presumably there. So where the heck is the frickin' results comic? Well, it's pretty much almost done. Almost all of the frames are set up and ready for snapshot and to be able to thrown together in comics. But I will say this, there is one thing that's holding me back at this point. Well, two things, mainly school, but I am waiting on a certain Pokemon's lines for my comic. So other than that, the results are pretty much on the way, and they will be here soon. I will really press to get the lines given to me, and I will really press to get the lines out at least sometime in, I'd say, this week or the next. So look forwards to the results comics of the PC98 contest. And don't worry, the next PC98 contest that I've discussed about will be a lot longer from now, so no worries. In the meantime, if you folks have any ideas for a contest or want a contest, let us know.
Just a quick question. Are we going to go back to the contest ideas we had before? And if so, when are we going to be doing the next one?
The next one on the list is basically dependent on the person who was originally willing to run the contest. As noticed before, the vanilla contest and the music lyric contest, the vanilla contest was hosted by Spaz, right? And the music lyrics contest was hosted by both Mickey and Spaz. The PC98 contest was handled by me, and I needed some assistance for the voting documents, and he in question, who I will not reveal as it's a surprise, will be showing up in the results comic. So until then, we'll definitely have to look for the person who wanted to host their contest before we make the collective decision to move on to the next one. So if you want to look back at that, feel free to look back on the list. It's still there. That's all I have. I'll send you my synopsis of that, Ort. I will type that up myself since that is my announcement.
I don't see any other announcements.
There is no other announcements. Does anybody have any other announcements? This is the last call.
I can't really immediately jump straight to my PMs because it'll show up on my recording software.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry about that.
Isn't ready yet. What?
Yeah, or we'll get to his PMs eventually once he's done recording.
Alright, I guess I got a little jumpy.
Alrighty then, so at this point I'm not seeing anything. Not ready yet. Dr. Nubcake, you have something.
Is anyone else going to go before me, or?
No, nobody's up. You're up.
Give me a sec, just make sure I've got the correct, yep, there we go. Correct. Anyway, last month and the month before, I announced my making of TF2 maps. Well, the thing is, I need 4 more people so I can actually set up 2 full teams, and then we can probably play test them. But until then, I'm going to need individual test runs, and then get server set up, and then set up a proper match on it. But the thing is, I need help setting up the server, and I need 4 more people to join, so there's full team on either side, preferably from either Europe or America due to the server restrictions.
Mm-hmm. So you're looking for a calling of TF2 players, a specific number of 4 more people, so you can set up playtesting. Furthermore, you're also looking for server help, correct?
Yes, and if you're willing, if you can help me actually make those maps as well, rather than just test them, that would be greatly appreciated.
Understood. Alrighty, send that off to Ort, your synopsis and your links.
What?
Anybody
Alright.
else?
Yep, last call. Three, two.
Wait.
Huh?
Sky, you have something?
Yes,
Actually, I don't. It's so I don't know. I was looking in the text chat.
Yeah.
Never mind. No, I
alright.
have nothing.
3, 2, 1. Time's up. If you had an announcement that you didn't get to announce, you will have to save that for the upcoming minutes journal that will be released soon after this town hall is done. Hopefully, if not by soon tonight, it will hopefully be up tomorrow. So, that would be it for the town hall. We have no other topics to discuss, but if you folks have any questions, now would be a good time to ask them. And it doesn't seem like we are getting any questions or any people piping up, so I think we're done for this town hall. Alright.
Did you need anything?
Alright then. No, he agreed with me.
Ah.
Alright, so let's end this off. You ready, Ort?
Yep.
Alright, this has been the April Town Hall of 2016. Sorry for not having a Town Hall for March, but hopefully this time that we did for this Town Hall makes up for that somewhat. We thank you all for joining in on the discussion. We definitely got a lot of material and things we definitely didn't mention this town hall, and there was some good discussion. We definitely have some progressive topics, like trying to enable transparency in the group. We'll definitely toss that idea around more outside, and hopefully implement a couple of other ideas. We definitely need to get the maintenance Discord and the DA, so that will be taken care of after this. So with that, that's the end, folks. We thank you all for joining and hope to see you next month when we don't skip the town hall.
Yep. It'll have a lot more. It'll have better planning this time.
Alright.
Alright.
See ya.
Goodbye. Huh?
See ya.
We're done here.
Goodbye. Goodbye. See y'all next town hall.